It is awful. And what bummed me out is I was looking for a clip of something that CNN did, which I'm going to show it to you in a second. I was looking on YouTube, and I type in Cleveland shooter, and of course, the first most searched thing was the video itself. It's rough. What you do need to understand about the video is that it's Stephen walking up to Mr. Godwin with the gun and asked him to say the ex-girlfriend's name. And basically, Mr. Godwin, the point of what I'm trying to explain here, what matters, is that the video you see is you're seeing it from the perspective of the killer. So you're seeing this man, dealing with this situation. You are seeing the gun come up and shoot him. Hells, I can't even imagine. The reason this is important, because then this happened. Hang on a second, let me get this queued up for us, guys.
There is a element of this that makes it look like a video game, because if you think about video games, they're first-person shooters. People in a game, they're going to have a controller, the gun is in front of them, and they're firing. That is how a lot of young people experience weapons. They experience guns as video games. Unfortunately, a video like this, it has that same perspective, and how yet it is so real. The blood is so real.
Let me say this in as simple terms as I can. Go fuck yourself, CNN. Now, obviously, doing what I do here on the IRL show, where I talk to you about the news, the things that I think are most important, the things that, have direct significance and, influence on your life, or things that may not have that direct significant influence, but may have an indirect one, or at least an understanding of what the world is, where we are, and where we're going, and shaping where we're going. This, I believe, is the purpose of news. It is not to point blame at the wrong people or the first people we can. It's not to spread misinformation or anything like this. And this is why things like CNN are absolutely killing and destroying you and me's respect for journalistic operations. Things that are supposed to be bringing us the news. And largely it is a lot CNN's fault, and then it's the invention of the internet. CNN created the 24-hour news cycle, where instead of having to occupy 30 minutes to an hour of your evening at one point, it was more important to be able to fill up the entire day, which means there was a lot of speculation. Now, the general idea is actually really good. If you don't have to just cram everything into a short amount of time, you can do longer form pieces. You can unpack what things mean, why they're important. You can get intelligent people together to discuss. And then we lost track of that. We lost sight of what the goal was. CNN, you are directly responsible for the death of trust in people in mainstream media. And this shit is exactly why. This is nothing like a first-person shooter. This is only like a first-person shooter if you've never played a first-person shooter. Because when I turn on a first-person shooter, I'm not watching a real man die. I'm not watching a father, a grandfather, fear in the final moments of his life. I understand there's a massive difference between the pixels that I'm shooting at, the emotional capacity to shoot a real person, and the consequences thereof. There is no scientific backing to say that video games cause any violence. In fact, the only scientific studies done have really proven that they reduce the likelihood of violence. But you just couldn't fucking help yourself. One, video games are an easy blame. They have been for years. And the good news is, you've helped destroy the importance of facts and actual real information, scientific study, by things like pretending that there was an actual debate about climate change, so that you can get away with pulling this off to the fucking morons whose brain cells you've helped destroy and make them think they need to continue to be glued to your station to understand what's going on in the world, even though you're providing them no understanding of what's going on in the world. And two, they're gamers. What are they going to do to defend themselves? You're looking at it. There's so many people doing it better than me, and they're doing it in a bigger way, but I'm going to throw myself in there with them. People like me, who actually care about facts, who actually care about an actual grounding of being in the real world, we're fucking destroying you. We started destroying you when we started tweeting live the things that we saw. When we started using the exact same tool that this man used to start bringing the world information our damn selves. Because you are failing to do it properly. And then we started doing it ourselves by saying, well, look, I've got a camera. I can buy some decent lighting. I can buy a decent microphone. And then I can go ahead and broadcast it to the world myself. And you have people like Kyle Kalinske of Secular Talk, who's a role model of mine, who, based on his views on YouTube that he gets, especially in key demographics, which we can check, is destroying CNN's primetime on a daily basis. We don't fucking need you, and this is proof of why. You know this. We've been telling you this. For the last 18 months of the presidential election cycle, we've been telling you that you've been doing an absolute bullshit job. And you didn't listen. You got the election wrong, and we started trusting you even less. You should be fucking ashamed, CNN. You should be fucking ashamed, MSNBC. You should be fucking ashamed, Fox News. And anyone who believes a damn thing that they say anymore. You're now creating the concept of fake news, and you're going after things like YouTube first, because that's your biggest enemy. Because you see PewDiePie pulling down 1 million views per video easily, and it scares the fuck out of you, and it should. And instead of trying to learn and maybe doing a better job, doing your original job, you're just going to keep trying to sell us down the river, and we're not going to fucking have it. So thanks. I appreciate the opportunity. I really, really do. But that doesn't mean I hate you any less. Go fuck yourself, CNN.